Hi, and welcome to my podcast. I am so happy that you're here. My name is Larisa Dalton, and I will be your host. The point and purpose of this podcast is to take you on the journey along with me as I build my business from scratch after coming out of the corporate world. Specifically, I'm building a coaching business. So I hope you enjoy the journey. The journey literally starts from the start, and I will continue updating you until we reach some major milestones. So to start off, I would like to give you a little bit of background on me and what I came from, where I am at in the process, where I'm at in the business aspect, and also in the coaching aspect of my coaching business. I also would like to talk about things that I still need to do for my business and what my focuses are at this point, and some of the additional challenges that I may be facing. So again, I'm Larisa, and my last job was a corporate job that I lost due to COVID. It was a large organization, and the company was experiencing major layoffs throughout the organization. And unfortunately, I was one of the people that was cut. Having been with the company for almost 6 years, that kind of put me in a different space where my plans, my goals, my strategy within the organization just kind of ended, and I ended up doing a lot of soul searching. I have a mountain that is near me, and that is where I went pretty much every day for probably an hour or so. And I was just thinking, contemplating, and absorbing the nature, and basically kind of, in a way, creating clarity in my mind. And this is the time that I was seeking for my purpose in life, where I would experience satisfaction. At that time, I also did an audit of my skill set, what I gravitate toward, what people thought of me, what people thought I was good at, and things that I enjoy doing. So as I made lists and lists of these attributes, I realized that in every single step of my life, I've always kind of created some kind of a group experience. For example, I started, back in the day, maybe 15, 20 years ago, within my girlfriend circle, I've created a book club. And so we would get together, talk about our books. Then I relocated to Germany. That's where I was pursuing my undergraduate degree. And I've created another sort of community within that new setting. And it was for women that were dealing with military spouses who may be deployed or were coming back from deployment. And there's a lot of challenges associated with that. So I've created a community for women there. And I really enjoyed it. I know that although I was still young and inexperienced, I felt that my work was meaningful, and I saw how it impacted those local women. When I came back to the States, I once again created my book club. I just love book clubs. For nothing else, it forces you to read, maybe not every month, but at least every other month. But we've covered many books over the course of 10, 15 years. So that was great. So when we moved back to Georgia, I've created yet another book club, and I've joined a local church. And in that church, I started leading a women's network. And, I've had positive experiences. I've had some challenges in that process. But overall, it has been a meaningful and valuable experience, and it has been great to be involved with women, and the women that I got to know pretty intimately. I'm grateful for that. I am still leading a women's group for my local church. When I worked for my last organization, I led Women's Network for my region. So I was able to facilitate different events, and I was able to mentor some women. And that also gave me immense pleasure. I find myself gravitating towards self-help. Anytime I learn something new, I always want to find somebody and share it with them because, it impacted me and it surely will impact them the same, right? They don't always feel that way, but it never stopped me. And so as I was doing this kind of inventory, kind of assessing my gravitation, areas of satisfaction, and also looking at what I've learned, I came across life coaching, and it was actually a very, very new concept to me. And I started looking at it, and I realized it was such a huge industry, and but there's also such a high demand for it. It's one of the, I think, second growing industries in the world right now, life coaching. And so it was such a new concept to me, and so I looked into it, and I knew that that is what I was meant to do. My experiences, my preparation, and the opportunity kind of all came together, and I knew that that is where I wanted to go. So as I enrolled into a certification program, I started to think about things that I might need to launch a business. One of the things would be a website. A website is one of the marketing channels that the certification school provides. And so I started looking into a website. I started looking into personal branding. I started to kind of think about how I would want to position myself, whether I wanted to brand a company or my name, or, kind of deciding how I wanted to approach branding. And so I decided just to use my name and brand my name. I wasn't sure that I wanted to do life coaching only. And so I kind of left some room to build on my name. And it's essentially my goal is to be able to bring other venues or other business ideas under the umbrella of my company. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I started building a website. Now, not having had that experience in the past, I reached out to somebody and worked with somebody to help me do that. And that was a very valuable experience. It's not something that I love and passionate about. That's why I needed assistance, but it was great to go through the process and know how to maneuver within your website and, do new blog posts, move things, add things, delete things, whatever is needed. So that was a great process. As I started building my website, I came up with my name. I decided that I wanted to go with Larisa Dalton Co. So I formed an organization. I formed a limited liability company, being a single member. The reason why I did that is because this kind of organization allows me to file my tax return with my personal return. So basically one rolls into another. It doesn't have to be separate unless I want it to be. So it was just kind of for like logistical simplicity. So I formed an LLC. I've obtained tax ID number through IRS website. And I took those documents, went to my local bank, opened up a checking account, got a credit card for my business. And so I was equipped with all the banking information. When my website was completed, I started integrating different tools. For example, calendar. If a client goes to my website and wishes to schedule some time with me, they can just click on the link to my calendar and schedule that time. Another tool that I needed to incorporate was PayPal for my paying services, paying options, basically. And so that's where my banking, checking account information was useful, and I was able to quickly and easily set that up. So once I created my website, incorporated my calendar, my paying options, my bank was set up. Essentially, my company was set up to start operating. I came to the end of the certification program, and during my last couple of weeks in the program, my now client approached me and basically committed to being my client. And to me, that was the most exciting thing in the world. I was stoked because that to me signified progress, movement forward. That was like also at the end of my certification process. So it just felt like all of these things were coming together, and super, super thrilling. Now, I do have to say that none of the pieces separately none of the pieces separately posed a lot of challenges, meaning that if you take time to do each piece individually, it's very manageable. So it doesn't have to be overwhelming. So if you feel like things are getting a little overwhelming, just kind of take it easy, take a step back, accomplish one task, celebrate. I think that was something that I've learned in the process, the importance of celebrating every step. I feel like I've been building trust through this process with myself. I knew that if I said to myself, Larisa, go open a checking account for your business, and I come home with, new checks, and then my bank card comes in the mail, it feels like an accomplishment. And I took the time to celebrate that, and in turn building a trusting relationship with myself, and sort of knowing that whatever my next task will be, I will be able to accomplish it, and so far and so forth. So my company's created, my website is built, I have a checking account, and so during this time of COVID, everybody's pretty much has been isolated. So my coaching has been on through Zoom. I got myself a Zoom account, which is fairly affordable. And I realized that I needed a space in the house that would be my space, that my brain would recognize as it being space to learn, to grow, to coach. And so I started investing a little bit into my office, and kind of created this cozy space. And I can share that with you in one of our following episodes. But I've created my office space. And so, the last thing in the process that I've done was starting this podcast. And here's why I started the podcast. For my marketing, I've been listening to different seminars, to different contributors. I've been learning a lot about marketing, what is critical in marketing, how to write your message, or how to present your message in the way that it would entice your ideal clients, etc. So for my marketing, the only thing that I've really done thus far was convert my personal Instagram account into a business account. And this conversion allowed me to basically see analytics for each post. And what that means is I'm able to see how many people I can reach with each post. How effective are my hashtags? How many people take action as a result of my posts, and basically it gives me kind of guidance, where I should focus, where I should make changes, where I should adjust. So thus far, that's been really my main marketing, my main marketing channel. Now, with Instagram, you will hear experts talking about when you use new features, Instagram promotes your posts better than if you just use the same old options. And so One of the newer options are creating like little videos, TikToks or Reels or, things like that. Now, I am not an actress, and I've decided that that is probably not going to be um, my way of marketing. And so, another great marketing tool was podcast. And so I've decided to explore podcasting. And so I've consulted a company, and I received some really good information that I was able to take. And basically, I decided that it was in alignment with my business model. And so I've decided to go into podcasting. That's where we are today. This is my first podcast, and this is initial experience. It's exciting. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's really just learning something completely new, and hopefully I'm considering all these different things, but I know that I'm missing a lot of things. So if you're a professional in this arena, you're looking at me like, you're an amateur, but you know what? I am. I'm just starting. I mean, I've just formed my organization, completed my certification, starting with my new client. And so I'm starting. This is like a very, very starting point for me. So if you are joining me on my journey, I hope that you start along with me. And I hope that I'm providing enough of detailed information for you to be able to join me and move your business forward and propel yourself forward. So this is where we are in terms of my business aspect. A couple of the things that I still need to do that I haven't done yet is I need to buy a liability insurance for my business. And I know that that's fairly easy to do. You can probably contact your insurance agent or reach out to coaching accreditation companies. If you're getting certification, you can reach out to them. But it's fairly easy to do. So that's something that I need to do. And the second thing that I need to do still is to implement an accounting system. I need to decide which software to use. I've traditionally used QuickBooks, so I'm somewhat familiar with that, but I'm going to actually consult with an accountant in the next couple of weeks and set up my company in the way that I can track every single expense from get-go, track my revenue, how I spend money, where the issues might be in the business, etc. So it's important to me to have a very, very solid accounting base. So I'm going to bring a professional to kind of help me establish that. So those are kind of like my two outstanding things for my business. With regard to my coaching, I am a new coach, but I had to accumulate a certain number of hours for my certification. So I do have experience coaching. I am starting my coaching. I'm starting with my new client today. So this will be in addition to my current clients. I'm starting my new client today, and this client is technically in my newly launched company. So this would be my first client in my newly launched company that I would be coaching. So I'm very, very excited about that. I've been practicing and preparing my tools that I found to be effective. We will be doing an extensive discovery session today. And so that is very, very exciting for me. I'm so thrilled. I'm also I'm actually a lifelong learner. I've gravitated toward personal development for probably the last 10 years, but I enjoy learning so much especially about personal development, behavior, about habits, about emotions, our mind, how our mind works, how our thoughts impact our outcomes and things like that. So I am going to continue learning those things. So personal development and personal growth is very, very important to me. I've also, in the process, implemented and created some new habits. For example, one of my new habits has been going to the gym early morning with my daughter before she goes to school. So we'd get up super early, go to the gym together, and we're starting to finally see some results from that. And so it's so incredible to be able to understand how, for example, habits are formed, and to be able to track that progress, and then to be able to teach it to somebody, and having like such a recent example that I can reference. So that's been kind of cool. So that's exciting for me as a coach. In our following episodes, I'm going to be talking about things that I discover when I dive deep into my studies, when I come across an interesting subject or something new or something, or maybe, there's a new thought that is introduced to coaching, or something that has been impactful for my clients. I'm going to bring that up once in a while and just kind of share with you. I'm also going to share with you things that work for me in getting new clients, what that really looks like. I know that some of the coaches that I follow just say, go out there and go get your clients. And what does that really mean? How do you go out there? Where do you go? Where do you go? How do you bring them in? And so that's what I would like to show you and to share with you. How does that actually work? And so that's what I'm going to do in my following episodes. I'm going to share with you what I did specifically that brought my clients in. I'm going to talk about the podcast experience. This is something that is really, this is the first time I'm doing this. This is the first episode I'm recording. So I'm going to talk about that experience, how much editing is required. What does it take to get to the point where you feel comfortable and you can share information with ease. I'm also going to be lining up guests and speak with different coaches that maybe niche in different areas and can offer a different perspective to my viewers. Maybe somebody who's a little bit ahead of me, who has some experience doing some of the things that I'm just starting. But so stay tuned for that. That's coming. I'm going to talk about my marketing channels. I'm going to give you an update on what I'm doing, what is effective for me. I know that right now I have a website and I'm preparing it to link to my certification school's website so that the school can offer me as a coach to a potential client. And so I'm just kind of fine-tuning my website, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I'm going to talk about time management because now I've completed my certification. My focus is being diverted to marketing. It is now time for me to start building my clientele. And so I am learning a lot about marketing. I'm learning a lot about Instagram strategy and content creation. And I also want to incorporate that content in my podcast and in my blog and on Instagram. So I'm just learning kind of how to take that piece of information and offer it through different platforms. And that means I have to alter the information that I put out to that different platform. So again, learning process, where I'm going to have to put in systems in place to streamline it. If I'm working on content for a week, can I complete it all in one setting? When you're focused, can I do that in one setting? So those are the kind of things that I'm testing out for myself right now. And I will definitely be sharing that with you. Time management, how much time I allocate to creating content, to personal development, to coaching, to taking care of other business tasks. For example, implementing an accounting system or contacting an insurance agent to get a quote for my business. So those are the kind of things that I am trying to figure out how much time to allocate and where is the time use that is the most effective. So I will keep you posted on that. I'm also working on identifying needle moving activities. What is actually generating return on my investment of time, of resources. So what activities actually propel me forward, and what activities are just busy activities that add no value to me, to my growth, or to the growth of my business. So I will be sharing those activities with you as well. And overall progress. I would love to bring interesting things that maybe my clients observe, or the issues that people are dealing with, or just other people's perspective and how it relates to coaching. And, if you're a coach in the making, or if you're a new coach, or if you're aspiring to be coach, what kind of things you may be exposed to in the future. So those are all the kind of things that I'm working on and will be bringing to you in the following episodes. So I really hope that you come back next week, and I hope that you take action. If it is your dream to build your own company, specifically coaching, please take action alongside of me. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please email me or reach out on Instagram, on other platforms. And my goal is to inspire you. My goal is to show you what I know, and please share with me what you know. Please join me next time. But for now, I hope you have an amazing week.
Have any questions about today's episode? Just head over to my website, larisadalton.com/contact-info and send in your request, or simply email me at larisadalton10@gmail.com. You can find my podcasts wherever podcasts are found. If you would like me to cover a specific topic, also submit that request via website or my email. Connect with me on Instagram at Larisa_Dalton, or book a complimentary session with me at larisadalton.com/coaching. Thank you again for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.